1 second. We'll get started in just a second. 1 second. There we go. We are ready. Let me just get this situated so I can get some comments if I need them on here, and we will get started. There we go. Perfect. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello there. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. Extremely happy if you are here. Don't be shy. Say hello. Tonight,
salutations.
Tonight, I have a guest tonight, which I'm very excited about. Tonight's live show is, as usual, anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption in America, which kind of covers everything. The show is meant to be an educational tool in cultural competency, focusing on learning the truth about systemic racism. And today I have a guest host. Today I am honored to have a guest host. Many of you already know her from the live shows. This is Anastasia.
Hey, what's going on? Loving y'all out there.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, I'm fangirling right now. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh my God. You know, they say you should never meet your hero, but you're mine and you're awesome.
Oh, I'm just thrilled to have you. Let me tell, I'm gonna have to show off a little bit. Show you off, I guess you could say. Anna's background includes being a mother of 9 children. I fainted, sorry. That's amazing.
It's okay. It's okay.
She has 24 years of military experience, and she was recognized by the governor of Hawaii. Am I getting this right?
I was.
Because she was doing help with homeless people, and she got recognized. Like, she's pretty much famous, people. I think that's so cool. And she's currently the Sergeant of the Guard for Black Lives Matter of Mississippi. And lastly, if I'm not making you embarrassed, to steal a perfect description that she said, she is an all-around badass and amazing human being.
I was being facetious when I said that.
But you are. So I
trust me. Trust me, I'm not. The thing about it, I look at it, if I was willing to give my life for the military, and I accepted that, I should be willing to give my life and have accepted it to the fact of social justice.
I think you're absolutely amazing. So hi, Glowy. Hopefully Glowy will be able to stay. I am Legend. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have Anna. She's been to so many shows and given us all so much of her wisdom. I'm going to do some quick announcements and we will get started.
Yay!
If you're watching, we want to know what you think. And what Anastasia doesn't realize, or maybe she does, is that if she likes doing this, I'm going to beg her to come on all the time.
I'm fangirling.
You're so funny. My first announcement, of course, as always, thank you to everybody who has been sending me tea. Tea's here. Yay, tea. Hi, tea. Thanks to everybody who's been sending me breaking news. I can't keep up. I don't know how people keep up. I don't, but I try. And this is where, if you ever want to tell me something privately, hello, Michael, welcome, welcome, welcome. Send it right here and I will. Dragon Soldier, is that somebody you know?
Yes, that's my husband.
I knew it.
Hey, baby.
In here. She has such I can just tell what a wonderful husband. He's so supportive. And if you want to, after we get going in the show, if you want to call in, we're going to probably limit it since we have our beautiful guest here. We'll limit it to just a few minutes. But if you want to call in, that is the number. And we might have a friend call in. So tonight's topics are going to be videos of the week. My friend Batosh might call in, but maybe not. And we're going to talk about Americans. Okay, this is just crazy, but I couldn't make this stuff up. Anastasia came up with this topic, and it's a good one. Very interesting. Americans pay Kenyan students to go to college for them. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's Robert. Hello. Welcome. Yay. I'm excited people are here. It sounds insane, but I put a video up just recently. I don't know if you guys saw it. We'll get into that. LA Crenshaw mall sale. I think I've been to that mall 50,000 times when I lived in LA. And it's once again another topic. And we're going to talk about today in racial history.
That should be disgustingly never changing. I'll say that. But I just wanted a side note as far as the Kenyan situation. Actually, it's a network that's called African Diaspora news channel. It's awesome. Y'all should go there. But they actually have information and news that comes from the continent to here. Because the thing about it, I'm sorry?
Philip Scott's channel?
Yes. Philip Scott's channel. And that's where I actually heard about that at. And so I just want to make sure I give them credit. And that I watch them every day. Dimitri K, Wangala, Philip Scott, and I forget what the other gentleman's name is, but they really be bringing it. And it's from the continent, because the issue is that we're disconnected. Everybody's in their own silos, and we're thinking that this is it, but it's not. It's going on globally around the world when we're talking about white supremacy.
Absolutely. And you know what is interesting? That's the first interview I ever had was with him.
Awesome.
He interviewed me and I was like blown away. I love his stuff. I wish I could keep up. He puts out so much, but I love that he does the entire diaspora. He doesn't just, he really integrates it.
Yes, but you have to, because the thing about it is that with us, the schism is only where the boat landed. And that's just to be totally honest. You know, some of the boats landed in the Caribbean, some landed in South America, Central America, some stayed on the continent, some landed in Europe. And, you know, we have to understand that globally, we are people until we, Kwame Ture, he gave a talk one time, and he was like, all over globally, we are unorganized. We're not outnumbered. We're unorganized.
Right. I love what he's doing. I love that he brings it in, and it's amazing. It's so important.
Yes.
And I've been trying to branch out as well. I'm just overwhelmed, you know, but with you on board, that's wonderful. That's great points. Do you want to add anything else, or are you good? Because
No, I'm good. I'm ready to get into it.
I think that's such an important point that you made. I focus on America, but like, let's be real. It's the entire world. And it would be amazing to have some sort of connection with everybody in the organization. And I think that's what he's definitely leaning towards. And I love it.
The issue is, as you can see, my scarf is a Palestinian scarf. And again, the Palestinians, and first, let me say this, I am not anti-Semitic. I am anti-apartheid. I am anti-fascism. And I am anti-oppression. And, you know, I show solidarity with Palestinians because they're not going through anything different than what was going on in South Africa, still going on in the continent, and what's going on in America. Basically, we are an apartheid state, and anti-Blackness is global. Absolutely. You know, and we need to understand that this is a global thing, anti-Blackness, anti-liberation. Even if you're not a melanated person, they are crushing indigenous people. And I want to say, I just want to give honor and homage to the stolen land that we're on right now. And Native Americans are still being murdered, specifically Native American women, First Nations people. I don't want to disrespect anybody by using the wrong terminology.
Fine.
But the simple fact of the matter is they just found the bones of all of these children. And just recently, the video that you showed me, they're finding the bones of Tulsa. So how are we any different at this point in time?
That's an absolutely outstanding point. And just to clarify, because, and I know you know this, but anybody who's new watching today, the fact of the matter is, on this show, we want to unite. We want to unite, and obviously knows this. We want to unite together as a unit for humanity. And it doesn't mean you don't like the people of a certain country. It's the government usually. It doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic if you think something's wrong. It's not. We don't go there, because, to be quite frank about it, we all know right and wrong. And if you're a humanist, you don't ever want to see oppression and marginalization of anybody. And these are our brothers and sisters of the world. These lines we have, these borders, they're made up. So I am absolutely 100% with you here. So on that, reality check. Yeah, and let me see. I'm trying to read something. Jamie's here. Let me see. It's balance wealth that people are concerned about. Yeah, let me read what reality check's saying. Anti-Semitism is a lie. It is anti-imbalanced wealth that people are concerned about. Yeah, and maybe I'm not 100% sure where to go with that, but I know we don't, for example, when we talk about Chinese, the country of China, we must separate the people from the government. Just like I hope people separate us in America, because otherwise we're all Donald Trump. Okay. And to say, I hate this entire country is pretty telling.
Well, the thing about it is, what I can say, let's talk about American imperialism.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I mean, how do you separate that from the people, especially if the people are expounding all of that? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Everybody knows about the rude American that expects everybody to speak English. Mm-hmm. The soldiers are being sent over in these countries. Half of the time, we don't know why we're there. And when we are there, we're getting this false sense of we're bringing liberty and freedom, until you realize, wait a minute, I don't even have freedom in my own country.
It's your own house, right?
And the things, it's so weird, and I'm gonna let you finish. Mm-hmm. I went and watched the Suicide Squad, Justice for Milton. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I mean by when I say Justice for Milton. But in it, the United States had a part in what was going on. And it wasn't that they were trying to save the people. They were just trying to hide their involvement in it, in what was going on. Because I don't want to give out any spoilers, but it's the same thing that goes on. You want to have Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, but you don't, because you don't want your hands dirty. So you don't want that here, because Americans are squeamish. We don't want to see how that steak gets on our plate. We just want the steak on our plate. And that's a lot of things. We don't care about how you got the gas. We don't care how you got these sneakers, these clothes. Right. We just want the clothes. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And don't think for one second that I meant that the people in America are somehow free of having to take some responsibility. That's all I do on my show, racial responsibility. Because the sad part is, I always say, you hear me say this every time, how do I know this nation is run on from the beginning to now and thriving on white supremacy? Because if it wasn't, we wouldn't have systemic racism embedded in every single part. We wouldn't be able to vote people in. So, it's us. Don't get me wrong about us. It's us. And it's not individuals. It's us as a group. We have chosen a culture of hate. And so, but some countries don't even have a choice, I guess is what I'm saying. So when we say, I hate the Iranians, well, you know what? That's really, maybe you hate their government.
How many Iranians do you know? Like, exactly. First of all, how many Iranians do you know? I can tell you, I don't know any Iranians. I don't hate them. And to be totally honest, who are we? I was watching Louis Farrakhan one time and he was doing an interview. I forget what the name of the guy was. It was on 60 Minutes. And he was like, this particular African country was the most corrupt. And he was like, wait a minute, this country has only been a country that's been uncolonized for 50 years. But you, as the beacon of supposedly freedom and liberty, what are you doing? Like,
we're living a lie.
Yeah, where did you get your riches from? Where was your primary wealth? And just like Paul Robeson said one time, certain countries, England, just took it, killed the people and just took it. And that's what they did. There's no Tasmanians. They literally went on a genocidal path and killed every last Tasmanian. They did that with the Aborigines in Australia. And the simple fact of the matter is that we just did it a different way. Our primary commodity was enslaved Africans, farming, period. You can mix this up and try to mental gymnastics, but America was not a rich country. Actually, when you got sent to the Americas, it was a known thing that you probably wouldn't come back alive, period.
Right. Yeah. Great points. Great points, Anastasia. We're absolutely on the same page. And let's just put it this way. I think this nation could be incredible, but we're not. And once we decide to really form a more perfect nation for everybody, then I just keep it real. I will be thrilled. And until then, I will continue.
For most of us, all we want, like I said, you can hear me quote a lot of people because I was just like, the fact of the matter is Barbara Jordan said, all we want is for America to be as good as its promise. That's it. Absolutely. We're not saying, listen, I can tell you, I don't speak for the Black delegation. I don't speak for all Black people. I'm just speaking for me and what I'm fighting for. I just want you to be as good as its promise. And stop lying. That's it. Just stop lying. Tell the truth. That's it.
100%. I just want it to be real. I despise, I'm right there with you. I despise injustice. And yes, the truth is ugly. But you know what's uglier? Bullshit and lies. I'm sorry. It's true.
And somebody said it. Yes, Ronald, it was Mike Wallace. I couldn't remember who it was, but it was a Mike Wallace interview, and he put him in his place quick. He actually did an interview on Donahue as well, and he put all of them in their place. And a lot of times, Americans really just don't want to hear the truth about things. We're not talking about the, infantilized part of America. Okay, let's just talk about it so we can fix it. Because I've been told a whole bunch of times to go back where I came from. And as Ronald, when Louis Farrakhan got told that, he told them people, he said, be careful who you tell to go back where they came from, because you didn't start off here. Most of these Black people, their families was here before you even came over here. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Excellent point. Absolutely. And yeah, fantastic points. Oh my gosh, I could just talk to you all day about this. Go on and on and on. Let's get some comments. So Ronald, hello. Thank you for being here. Yay. Great comment. I'm just going to back up. We have Dave. Welcome. And let me see here. Dave, Kim is right about the totalitarian society. People in Pakistan or Iran or Russia don't get to choose their government. But in this country, so many Americans vote for authoritarianism. Yeah, you know what? We are going to be surprised if we don't change our ways. It's not good. And the people who vote for that are going to be the most surprised. The veil has been lifted, reality check. And let me just go back, reality check. That small time stuff will not work with real Black folks. Now I'm going to jump right in. When you say real Black folks, and I'm not sure 100% what you mean, but I'm going to jump in because for me, if you're a Black folk, you're a real Black folk. There is no monolith. And I'm not trying to, make waves, but let's keep it real here, people. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm going to be kind of tough on you. And, oh, what happened to Nails and Glitter? Nails and Glitter can come anytime. I love Nails and Glitter. I'm not sure where she is tonight. She's been doing so much, but do you want to jump in anything, or we can get going?
I mean, the thing about it is you're handling, like I said, the fact of the matter is that somebody said we chose authoritarianism and totalitarianism. What it is, they're not choosing it for themselves. What we have to understand is just like the laws were made, and this is why we got these Karens and these cops, and it's like, wait a minute. I didn't make the rules for me. I made the rules for you. So let's be clear about when they're choosing certain things. They're not choosing it for themselves. They're choosing it for us. But what's going to happen is, you're going to get like the situation with Trump, and he was deporting the undocumented immigrants. A lot of them was like, wait. I thought you was going to deport them, not my husband. And like you said, trust me, they're going to be those people that's going to effed up and found out. And it is what it is.
Yeah. And Anna, I'm not sure if this is what you meant or not. I believe Dave is referring to the choices that we're making by voting for somebody like Trump. And
yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Because it was this woman, I forget where they were, but she said, I never thought I would want a dictator, but I want Trump as my dictator. Do you even understand what that means? Because the simple fact of the matter is, I don't understand. Do they not understand that Trump has all of contempt? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Democrats are any better. We've seen that over and over again with Nancy Pelosi, the Clintons, all of them. So they're both wings of the same corrupt racist bird, but he's shown y'all or shown them in no uncertain terms that, yeah, he may crack down on Black people, minorities, and, people are part of the LGBTQ community. But if you're not rich, he's coming for you too.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, absolutely. And Anastasia, I know you're probably familiar with Martin Niemöller, who was the German pastor who,
when they came for me, there was no one left. Yep.
That's what you're talking about. And we got to unite. Fantastic. God, it's great having you on here. Let's get on to today in racial history. I've been kind of adding that. I don't know if this is like a really popular thing, but today is one of the anniversaries of this white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. That was horrific. On this day, August 11th in 2017, on the evening of October 11th, an assembly of more than 200 white supremacists, alt-right, neo-Nazis, pro-Confederate, boy, they had everybody, marched through and converged at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. And they had torches. I mean, it was like out of, my kid saw it and she thought it was a movie. She thought it was, oh, is that a movie? I'm like, no, that's real, honey. That's scary. Yelling blood and soil and you won't replace us and white lives matter. And oh my goodness, white lives have always mattered. No offense intended, but get over yourself. Okay, sorry, that was my, okay. And
you're fine. You're fine.
It was unite the right. Well, you know what? It's just all in the process of transforming our, our far right party. I know that it's been going on forever, but this is pretty extreme. And it was all because somebody dared to remove a Confederate monument, a monument of somebody who basically was an enemy of the state. And
a traitor.
And horrifically racist and just unconscionable. Like, hello, why in the world? It'd be like the Germans putting up statues of Hitler. What the actual? I mean, so those opposing the white nationalists included members of Antifa groups, supportive groups like Black Lives Matter, local residents, church congregations, civil rights leaders, just people. Even, this is about the time we started seeing actual white folks who had no connection, but said, you know what, wrong is wrong, I'm in. And it was absolutely crazy, and not the police and the, this is all purposeful. I'm sorry, this is all purposeful.
I mean, I don't disagree. See, this is the thing. What a lot of people don't understand is that this is about fear. This is about the fear, because their initial is the Jews won't replace us. That's what they were talking about. As you can see, they were pushing against the cops. Again, we are seeing a temper tantrum of white America, specifically white males. Because the simple fact of the matter is, like I tell white women all the time, they don't like you either. Because this is the thing, they're going to allow you to prop up white male patriarchy, but then they're coming for you. Understand, they want you back in the kitchen. They want you having those babies so you are not in competition with them for jobs. They've already said that. And if you read a book called The Birth Dearth, or you listen to Jane Elliott, they tell you that the reason why these things are happening, I used to volunteer for Planned Parenthood. And what happened was we talked about it, and I had to tell them this birth dearth thing, the abortion, the border, all of these things are interconnected. The visas, the trying to get rid of legal immigrants and stop legal immigrants from coming in is about the fact that biological genocide. They see and fear the browning of America. And America, let's be clear, was not created for brown people or black people. It just wasn't. America wasn't. I'm not talking about the land that it's on. America was a white utopia, a white rich utopia. Because let's be clear, if you didn't own land, they didn't want you to vote either.
Absolutely. I mean, we all, are kind of, at least you and I are in agreement that this is everybody should have stake in the game. Do you remember, and I'll move on in a second, but do you remember the woman that was the poet that spoke on stage, that spoke about women and enslavement and how it's all interconnected? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure. Was it a African-American woman or a
yes, an elderly African-American woman who did incredible monologue. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
It wasn't Maya Angelou or no, I'll look it up. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. I do know it's all interconnected.
I'm going to post that later.
Yes, it's all interconnected. And what people need to understand that all of this is about chess. And with their planning, a lot of times they say poor people only plan for the next day, but rich people plan for generations. It's the same thing. And if you look at South Africa, you can say, yes, Mandela was a Black president, but who was really in charge? And this is because of the things that they laid out to ensure, you can have a Black president or a Black whoever, but we're still in charge. And then like Dick Gregory said, they got a well-behaved Black person. You know what I'm saying?
That's what systemic racism implanted everywhere does, is it keeps, no matter who changes the guards, it doesn't matter.
And I was just gonna go, yes, there is, and Talonda Rogers said there is a Jewish ancestry and then Jewish religion, right? Yes, exactly. So and I'm not speaking from expertise, I'm just saying they are seen as a religion and as well as an ethnicity. And so when you have that certain but there are there's an African tribe that are Jewish.
Absolutely.
Like, I forget what the name of the tribe is, but they're completely Jewish and they had to actually fight to be considered as Jews. But
I know Jewish people are all over.
Yes.
In every shade of everything.
Yes.
And there's Ethiopian Jews. And there's a big debate, which we won't get into here,
right,
about whether it's an ethnicity or whether it's a religion. And you know what? Either way, it boils down
respect them.
Yeah. Groups of people being marginalized,
exactly,
being bullied, being stereotyped, and we won't have it. It's not happening under our watch. And that's what we like to talk about.
Yes.
And I will never get into a conversation where my focus is bagging on other marginalized people, no matter what way they are marginalized, in order to bring up people who are being marginalized. No, does not work for me.
No,
it's not necessary. We need to unite. And sure, every group has their issues, every group has their problems. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Now, let me see. Reality check is saying, who talks about Ethiopian Jews in the white community? I do, because they were getting booted out of Israel, and it was incredibly cruel.
Sterilized.
So, they were asking for amnesty, basically, and they were getting their asses booted out when they are Jewish people. So anyway, we're going to move on probably, but do you want to say anything, Anna?
No, you got it.
The AZ power, welcome. The power or the law. The problem is old white boomers are threaten change. They fear people of color. They're still living in the past. They want to go back to the days of, absolutely. It's all fear.
Yes.
Fear. And you know, the GOP are very, very good with that. It's the propaganda. They get it. They use it. We, the white masses, fall for it, and others, but mostly us, the white masses, fall for it. It's propaganda. And what it does is it puts us in the fight or flight mode. It's like the original brain that we had when we were basically considered animals, fight or flight, just void of analysis and critical thinking. And that's where they put us, and we happily go there. Not all of us, but a lot of us. And it's purposeful.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Got to use our God-given, whoever given, critical thinking skills. What makes sense? All right. I am going to, so anyway, that's Charlottesville, which is really a horrific thing, kind of the beginning of the end. I wanted to quickly, Mahako, welcome. And Dragon Soldier, thank you for being here. And I know I'm missing people. AZ Power, I'm thrilled to have you. A lot of new people that I haven't seen, or maybe they've been really quiet. This is what we do. And I love having Anastasia. I'm just giddy.
So can I say one thing
about
that? And
say more than one.
Like Dragon Soldier said, that, you know, we're often taught that the American government loved Mandela and all of this. That's a lie. That's really a lie. Joe Biden lied about saying he got arrested for trying to see Mandela. That's a lie. That's a known lie. He was not arrested for trying to see Mandela. And the fact of the matter is, they had the American government planted informants from the CIA to get him arrested. That's one of the reasons Mandela was arrested, because the Mandela that we knew, that was old. And that, if you watch the Mandela in the beginning, Madiba, because Nelson was not even his, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Nelson was not even his real name. He went to school and his teacher decided that, well, I don't want to say your name, so I'm just going to change it. And the fact of the matter is that he, you know, was a freedom fighter, and he believed, he was like, you know, freedom is never given. It has to be taken. But when you see him, Steve Biko, Winnie Mandela, and, you know, a lot of people look at her at the things supposedly that she did, but as with anything, if they need to find something on you, they're going to find something on you. So I just charge people to look at these icons. Look at Steve Biko. Look at, it's a play called Serafina. Look at what was going on there. Look at who Mandela was before they put him in jail. And you understand, he was not Santa Claus.
Yeah, and part of the thing that we do, and we do it so well, we have these amazing ideologies that we spread around, but we don't walk the walk or live the life. And you got to separate what somebody's telling you is happening from what is really happening. And it's not easy. It is not an easy thing to do. We like to talk about creating a more perfect union. But we don't often like to actually do it because that means giving up some power and sharing it with our fellow humans. So a lot of the propaganda is pushing us towards
right.
that.
And as you've seen, like you said, we talk, because you and I talk and we agree. I wouldn't say we agree 99% or anything, but I'm pretty sure we have similar ideologies when it comes to certain things. And this is one of the reasons why I am not a part of the feminist movement, because once I started studying exactly who the feminists and suffragists was, they weren't trying to get freedom for everybody. They weren't trying to do that. And it's the same thing now. The people that are crying freedom is, yeah, I hate the way they're treating you, but I'm not willing to give up my position and my power for you,
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you want to say more?
No. I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah, because for one thing, Frederick Douglass, he wasn't supported, like we talked about before. He wasn't supported by the suffragists.
Nope.
They were furious. They were furious that he got to have the right to vote and not them first. And they were obnoxious about it, and they showed their true selves.
Yep.
Yes, they did. And at the marches for women. I'm sorry, I could not get involved in those because they weren't marches for women. They were marches for white
women. That's it.
And while we're on the topic, I'm just going to jump in there.
Go ahead.
I'm losing my train of thought, but yeah, they were marches for white women. And, when people say, oh, women got the vote in 1920. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. That's not right. White women got the vote in 1920.
Exactly.
And that's really kind of important.
Yeah.
So it's these lies that we continue to spread. It's really upsetting.
Right.
Because it's a lie.
But it's a machine. You gotta understand it's a machine, and it's white supremacy is a hell of a machine.
Powerful.
Trust me, a hell of a machine. White women, they have the greatest PR person. Seriously, I still remember watching these slave movies, these Black trauma movies, and always seeing the white women as posed as Missy Ann trying to teach people how to read and, all this foolishness. And then when you wake up and you be like, whoa, that's why I'm not surprised about this whole Karen movement. This didn't just start. And the thing about it, we have always elevated white women above everybody else, but white men knew that white women were a tool. That's it.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, like we've talked about, oh my gosh, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's mostly white men. But you know what? I call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
White women's tears have caused many, many a tragedy. Many tragedy. And if nothing else, we help to perpetuate the systemic racism to the next generation. We marry men that are known white supremacists, and we just, we just go along with it. I'm sorry, no.
Yep.
It's white people, not white men. It's so, and that's just reality. I'm not, So yeah, great points. Great points. Let me see. I wanted to go on next to some of the videos that I put out this week, just really quickly, and get your opinion on what you thought, Anastasia. If you don't mind, if you have no opinion, that's fine. One of the first ones I put out, because I was throwing things left and right this week, and I have 2 videos of you.
Wow. I've seen one of them. Yeah. I appreciate that. It just, for me, it just seems like I'm screaming all the time. So I was like, hey, I need to, culture my voice and seem a little bit more elegant,
You are perfect. Just being you. Honestly, I think you're great. Don't change. So this week I threw on the Central Park Karen, who had her first, or I guess it's a her first interview where she actually talked after having this, instead of having it be punitive, she had the special, she had I guess it's reparative justice or restorative justice.
Can I just say that? Bullshit.
Yes. Well,
Bullshit.
yeah. Well, after seeing her interview, it was crystal clear. That woman it did not work. And I had a lot of hope for restorative, but this is, sampling of one. But yeah, if you saw her speak, did you see that video by chance?
So this is what I will say to you about this. The fact of the matter is, I'm not going to call her Karen. She's a terrorist. Okay. Absolutely. The simple fact of the matter is, she could have got that man murdered, and she knowingly did that. That's the same thing as you having intercourse with somebody knowing that you have a deadly disease, or do what that Buck did that nobody's talking about, but that's another conversation. The thing about it is the fact that Christian Cooper did not want to participate in this situation. A lot of people, I've heard the chatter about it. The reason why he didn't, because Black men and white women in their respective groups are treated the same. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter how they act, those respective groups are going to protect them from one reason or another. Okay. And I'm pretty sure they're probably like, how do Black men, straight Black men and cisgender white women act the same? Because they both have similarities on how they act within the culture, within the community, and how they reflect not being treated with kid gloves or feeling that they're above everybody else. And so I saw exactly why he did not want to, prosecute her. And it was a woman, I think it was his cousin, that actually turned that video in, because we know as Black women, the danger that woman poses. And let's be clear, she is going to get somebody killed. I'm telling you that right now. It never fails. It never fails. You sit up here and you allow this virus type of situation. It may not kill you today, but definitely it's going to come back to you. Because all she taught people is, if you cry, if you act, meek and speak softly, that, people are going to treat you a certain way. And that's just, it was deliberate and it was disgusting. So as far as I'm concerned, she off with her head, not literally, but off with her head. Nothing, she didn't get any consequences. She got the dog back. She's suing her job that fired her.
She got a scare. She got a scare. That was all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So what did all of these Karens that do these things, if you go back and check on them right now, they still got their jobs. They still living their best life. Matter of fact, the most Karenist person ever, Karen Carpenter. Karen Carpenter and Carolyn Bryant. Carolyn Carpenter killed Amaya Braxton. She didn't even get a ticket. She's in North Carolina living her best life right now. Carolyn Bryant still living her best life after lying about Emmett Till. So this is what I'm saying, that you keep perpetuating this terrorism. It's going to keep going on.
Our culture's allowed it. Our culture's allowed it.
That's it.
We've accepted it and allowed it. And, the tough thing is, with the restorative justice and all that, well, it was crystal clear she takes zero responsibility from her interview. I was thinking she'd come on and be like, I've learned so much, I'm going to be, not at all.
Angry Soccer Mom, can I ask you why? Why would I do that? I don't have to. That's in my privilege. I I don't have to defer to you because I know what my position is. She knew what her position was when she did it. So, Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them. I believe white women in all of the terroristic things that they do. Period. I don't put anything past, especially when dealing with my children and how you've seen the teachers and the daycare centers. No, I let them know right off the bat, I'm not one of the good ones. I will pull up on you. So that's what I'm saying. We need to stop being shocked by these people.
It's really hard for me. I'm still shocked by every racist, anything. I just, and that for me, that keeps me passionate and keeps me, I'll never normalize it, never. But what you're saying makes total sense. I had hope out that this restorative justice would, because I've seen people change, but not overnight. But she not only didn't change, she doubled down.
Yes.
I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God.
Well, what's the one that attacked the little 14-year-old boy in a hotel?
Oh, goodness gracious. Yes.
Mia, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
You seen what she did?
Oh,
she was like, first of all, she de-aged herself and was like, I'm just a girl. No, you're a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, she infantilized
20. I think at the time she was 22 years old. No, you're a grown-ass woman and you attacked a 14-year-old child. And then lied about it and said, oh my God, he attacked me. You're lying. And so, and the thing about it is I was watching Saturday Night Live with Bill Burr, and he was like, he basically told white women, shut up, because you were the ones sitting right here along with us doing it. And so take what you're going to take. And they didn't like that because he told the truth.
Yeah. We white folks, we really, really do not have the art of dropping our goddamn egos at the door and shutting up and listening.
Right.
It's, oh boy, we should do an entire show on Karens and.
I don't want to waste my time on them. No, this is the thing. This is my whole thing. I don't waste my time on stuff like that. I don't waste my time on that because at the end of the day, if you've noticed video after video after video, I think now somebody says she went to jail. Who went to jail? I don't know who, Mr. Ramsey.
Ramsey. I think he's saying that she was arrested. I believe he might be referring to at the time would be the woman at the hotel in New York City.
Maya Poinsettia. But this is
the child.
But this is the thing. She was allowed to leave to go to California and resisted arrest.
Absolutely. No,
so my whole thing about it is they knew where she was. Absolutely. Like you knew where she was. Why was she arrested that day? Yep. That's what that was about. 100%. And then remember how I was saying about the actions of Black men and white women and how the dynamic is similar. I'm not saying every part of it. I'm not saying they're on the same level. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the protection of each one of them. But the thing about it is, like I said, with both of them, Christian Cooper, no relation to her, was a Harvard graduate from what I understand, and he was bird watching. Mm-hmm. Of course.
And her dog was off leash.
I am not that Black person. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that Black person. Now you got the situation with Maya Poinsettia. The person's son that she attacked was a Grammy-winning musician.
Right.
And where they were, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is not going to happen to me. And I'm saying this, Angry Soccer Mom is not saying it. Some people get a Negro wake-up call and they are bounced back into that you are still in America. And this is how the president of the United States was still the N-word. Michelle Obama was a gorilla.
Yep. No, it's. I hear you exactly, and I love that you're being real. This is what we're here for, to be real. This is systemic. This is what we thrive and live on and perpetuate in America: white supremacy. and it has to stop with us.
Right. You got a lot of comments because I'm looking at one. Wanda, she said, how could I, Maya, she said, how can I be racist? I'm Hispanic. What? Are you crazy?
Let me go. Wait, okay. How about I'll go right back.
Go ahead.
Back. Let me see. Keep going back.
No. I was just saying, I know how you like reading. I know how you like reading the comments. Yeah. I'm just reading the ones closer to me. I know like it, but she was saying Maya Poncetta did say that before she told Gail enough. I was like, listen, when I see her do that, I was like, Gail is about to snatch her wig off right now.
It was incredibly disrespectful and obnoxious of that young lady to do. Gail held her. She has a lot of poise, and yeah, it was. It's just, it's a very powerful system, so much greater than any one of us, and that's why every one of us needs to unite and say, this ends with me.
Right.
It might be. I mean, it's a powerful system. And it's disgusting, and we're living a lie. And I personally, I can't do it.
I mean, like Dragon Soldier said, 40% of all slave owners were women. And Martha Washington, and this is the thing, you see how they're bringing up, this COVID thing and these fools. No. Let me digress. Let me bring it back. People have a choice to do what they want to do with their bodies, whatever. But they're invoking George Washington to get to those people to take the vaccine because his soldiers, they had to take the vaccine. I think it was smallpox, when they were fighting the Revolutionary War. So, but this is the thing. Why don't they never invoke about Martha Washington, that she was a vicious, disgusting slave owner, and that George Washington had the teeth of his enslaved people ripped out to make him dentures? It's funny how they want to play these games. And like Dragon Soldier said in that book, they were her property too. White women were vicious slave owners just like the men were.
Right. And part of the thing is this is back to that fantasy of this ideology that we love to talk about, but we don't do, and we didn't ever do.
Yep.
And we live a lie. Because it makes us feel better. It makes us feel, like, and I am here to call bullshit on that. Sorry. I can't stand BS. And some of this BS is killing people. They're killing my fellow humans. And yes, I take this personally.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I totally agree with you. Like, I mean, I'm looking at all of these comments and stuff like that. And, it's intersectionality with, okay, say the person, the aggressor, is not quote unquote white. Okay, what does that mean? Like, we already know it is what it is. And there's anti-Blackness and white supremacy globally. So I don't understand why people are surprised anymore. Why are you surprised about Black people getting beat up in these nail shops and these hair shops? I'm not surprised, but I'm also from New York. So it goes along with the fact that it's also proximity as well. You understand what I'm saying?
All of these colorism?
No. I'm just saying when they were saying about Hispanics and Asians or non-white people doing certain things. And I'm saying, yes, it could be a plethora of things, colorism, it could be white supremacy, but it's also proximity, because you're going to deal with the person that you deal with.
Right.
Everything is not mutually exclusive. That's all.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a pecking order, if you will. And we're all indoctrinated.
Exactly.
Who buys into it and who doesn't? We're all indoctrinated. The hatred you get from brown people, if you're a Black person or an African-American person. We're all indoctrinated. And unless you have something special going on at your house or your people around you that make you feel good, we can't help but be indoctrinated.
Well, Jane Elliott said if you went through school from K to 12,
there's nothing to
and yes, Talonda, I am from Brooklyn. Thank you.
I'm going to read through these. You're so cute. I'm going to read through these. I know I'm going to skip people and jump right in whenever you want. Let me see. I'm going to go back.
Nails and Glitter is here.
Nails and Glitter. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nails and Glitter. Yay. Okay. I'm going to read all the comments and go right down and get to Nails and Glitter. T says it's true. This is referring to a white woman, I believe. They can cry and get away with it. We cried without even doing anything wrong, and we'll get accused, arrested, mistreated, misjudged, discriminated against. That was T. Mahako. Correction, Anastasia. That is why we must not attack other Black people.
Can I say something about that? I'm going to say something about that.
Absolutely.
First of all, Marcus Garvey said there are Black people here that he said that he does not wish to take all Black people back to Africa with him because they're not good here and they're not going to be good in Africa. So at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on, I refuse to allow specifically a Black person. I'm gonna give everybody the same energy is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say, well, he's a rapist, but he's a white rapist. So but I understand what you're saying. But at the end of the day, we gotta attack all of them with the same energy. That was my only answer for that.
Right. And I didn't take that. I don't know if Mahako did. I don't know if he took that as attacking Black people, or he didn't. I'm not sure. I didn't catch that. I didn't hear you doing that. I heard you being real, and I heard you understanding that Black people aren't monolith. Every group has people that are indoctrinated.
Exactly.
And every group has people that aren't, and it's just the percentages. But yeah, did you want to add anything to that? Because
no, he said Mahako, or she said minus Black sellout. Oh yes, trust me, off with their heads. Off with their heads. Like you can listen, when you have insider threat, and like she told you, I was in the military for 24 years. I retired in 2018. Your insider threats are the worst. If you look at any kind of military history, it's always the ones that's laying right next to you that'll kill you first. So you gotta get rid of them. You gotta boot them out and turn them out. So yeah, those dudes can keep it. Candace Owens, Terrence K. Williams, all of them, hey, off with their heads.
No, I hear you. I mean, everybody reacts to our societal indoctrination differently, and boy, oh boy, it's strong. I know for me, the worst problems I've ever had with backlash are from white folks who were actually considering themselves liberals. They went full circle calling every single solitary thing on the planet racism, which takes away from actual racism. It cheapens. It cheapens it. And they went full circle the other way, accusing people of this and that. They didn't know the facts. I've had more trouble from well-meaning, what I call well-meaning fake liberals who are white. So, I mean, we got issues everywhere.
The issue is listen to Black people. That's it. If we're talking about sexual assault of women, listen to the women. If you're talking about hate crimes, and listen to the Black people. We can tell you what we need and what we don't need, instead of you saying, hold up, I know why you're offended and this is what you need, but they don't, because it's not genuine, it's performative. Right. And you can tell when it's performative.
Yeah, and part of the thing is, you can be just as damaging and have good intentions, but if you're a white person, we are not the leaders. No, we are not the saviors. No.
Yep.
I had so many incredible mentors, and I still have them.
Yeah.
How I learned is through people like Anastasia, people like Nails and Glitter, people like Talonda, and and Mahako and my friends that tell me it's a gift. And I tell white folks, you hear somebody who's Black, brown, indigenous telling you their truth, you listen.
Now, but just a caveat, just like Nails and Glitter said, all Black people are not a monolith.
Right.
But you have Black people that are turncoats, that are appeasers and capitulators, such as Candace Owens. Now, Candace Owens had a case with the NAACP that the NAACP helped her in her town of predominantly white people. And she turned on him. And then her brother came and said, oh, I'm not oppressed because I got 2 degrees and all of these things. And it's like, okay, but that's survivorship bias. Just because you, depending on where you were and what your situation, doesn't mean everybody is in that situation or know what you know. It's just the same thing like white people. It's like you at a point in your life, you learn certain things, and you can't say, well, all of us think like that, because not everybody thinks like that. And you may have a situation, just like I may have a situation where I may not be bothered, but that doesn't mean you're not bothered by it. That doesn't mean I should discount it.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah.
You gotta be sensitive. And a lot of times I get stuff like this, Anastasia, I get people saying, well, your opinion is da-da-da. I say, stop. This is not my opinion. This is an opinion I got from a huge collective.
Right.
They think that, oh, I'm just being aware. I go with best practices because I'm a learner. I'm here to learn.
Exactly.
I go with best practices.
Exactly.
You don't know my personal opinion because I don't often espouse it, because I am not here to talk about my personal opinion. I'm here to talk about what Black, brown, indigenous people are telling me.
Right. But your opinion does matter, because at the end of the day, when you're doing certain things, right? This is, you know me, I've said this to you before, that I don't have conversations like this with non-melanated people. You and I are talking, but like on a regular basis, I'm not having that conversation, because I feel like this, and we have talked about this before, that, when it comes to certain things like that, you're going to study what you care about. Like, we did this show, you did the outline, you got the videos, you talked to me 3 and 4 days, or whatever the case may be, is because you cared about it. You know what I'm saying? But then you want me to bear the brunt of the oppression, then teach you how you're oppressing me, or people like you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's not your responsibility.
It's not my responsibility. So when I see people like you, Jane Elliott, Tim Wise, I'm still on the fence with the white fragility chick, because I think that she's co-opted a situation where, Black people have been saying this stuff for years, and because it's coming from a white woman, now it's wonderful.
Disgusting.
But you understand what I'm saying? That's the way I feel about that. But I'm just saying, I don't have these conversations with people on a regular basis. And honestly, if you wouldn't have tapped into me, I talk to melanated people, because I think a lot of times we're not told history, the books and the information. It's just not taught anymore. And then some of it is really hard to digest.
It's barbaric, and it's hidden history, and it's whitewashed over, it's not told. And Anastasia, I absolutely, every day, not a day passes by that I don't think, why do I have people watching me? Who the hell am I? Right. I never lived it. I never lived a day in my life. I can pretend that I don't even know what systemic racism is. Any day I can choose to not, I don't know what you're talking about. Why would people listen to me and that makes me enraged.
Right.
Enraged.
So Nails and Glitter said something about we should be careful about judging the visibility of someone's Blackness. Candace Owens is Black, and she's not with the Black. this is my whole thing, but I don't know if that was towards something that I said, but what I'm gonna tell you is I am not the arbiter of anybody's blackness.
Right.
But if you're an enemy and you're doing things that are counterproductive to our liberation and freedom, I don't care what color you are, you need to be turned out. And then the simple fact of the matter is the master always disposes of his tools. And when they get tired of you, they're going to do that. It never fails. Herman Cain, he was bigging up Donald Trump. And I don't need a mask. I don't know. When was the last time you heard any of them talk about the death of Herman Cain? You haven't. Because when they're done using you, when they're done using Tim Scott and all those little lackeys that they got, don't come back here. Don't come back here.
Yep, absolutely. I hear you. And, I want to speak to did I cut you off or because it's hard?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Because it's really important that I don't, but there's a 5-second lag. I don't know if people know that. There's a 5-second lag, so I can tell them cutting you off. What Neil from Glitters is saying, I absolutely agree with, and I absolutely get where you're coming from. And the bottom line is this, as a white person, and I will tell, this is my personal opinion. When I first saw Candace, okay, I'm just kind of embarrassed to even say this, I didn't follow her ever. So I thought she was just kind of some like innocent person who had been indoctrinated. And I wrote to, it's kind of embarrassing. I didn't know she was famous for what she does. And I saw a video, I'm like, oh my God, what has our society done to this beautiful woman? This is sick as a mom, as an older person. No,
that's your weird cousin. Keep your weird cousin close. That's
I didn't know she was actually. So what I did was I wrote to some of my closest friends who are Black and said, oh my God, you have to help this lady. And they laughed their ass off at me. And when they were done laughing, they said, she's a famous person. I'm like, oh, oops. Because I get so like, I didn't want to save her. I can't save anybody, but I was like, please help her. I heard some of the stuff she was saying. And I was like, oh my God, I was so mortified. She's a hateful woman. And so it was like, so funny. I'm here to learn. I learn every day. And as a white person, I just thought she was indoctrinated, like horrifically so.
No, she's a grifter. Grifters are gonna grift. Trust me. She's a grifter and she's a parasite on whoever is going to listen to her. And I mean, I don't listen to Candace Owens. People like that I'm indifferent towards. Like if you was to tell me that she fell off a bridge or something, I'd be like, Angry Soccer Mom, are we having lunch today? What are we having for lunch? Because she doesn't affect my life and anything around me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't listen to Charlie Kirk. I don't listen to Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? Because why? Why give them the energy? They're not worth it.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for me because I was kind of blown away. Like, why is she being so mean? And I everybody helped educate me, and it was amazing, and I get it. As a white person, it's not my place. She is a Black person. Okay, she might not hold the mainstream, but she is still a Black person. Right. But however, she is, and obviously she's hurting my fellow humans. She's hurting herself.
Yeah.
And it's not my place to even say. I just move on.
Exactly. Like next slide.
And this is going to sound really condescending, but I feel sad for her person to person. That
you shouldn't. You want me to tell you something?
I feel sad for everybody though. I'm always like,
right. See, I'm not like that. Like I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Oh, no,
and I'm gonna tell you, no, I don't. I do not negotiate with terrorists. And I'm the type of, again, you said earlier that I'm the sergeant of the guard for Black Lives Matter. And the reason why is because I don't suffer fools. I'm like, you have to take a hard line with certain things.
Absolutely.
You have to take, because the thing about it, you are a liability to me. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like Dennis said, Candace Owens and the rest of them are somebody that Harriet Tubman, John Brown, Nat Turner would have shot. And that's just point blank and simple. Because at the end of the day, if you see what happened in Nat Turner, if you see what happened to Denmark Vesey, if you seen what happened to Carlotta La Negra, and you see any of the freedom fighters, who were the ones that turned them in and got them killed?
Yep. And you know what, Anastasia, I believe I'm probably summarizing maybe what you're saying when I say Candace Owens' behavior and those who behave like her, she is helping kill people.
Yeah.
And I absolutely recognize that. And I have this terrible character flaw that like, I still just like, I just feel, I don't condone, I absolutely condemn what she's doing. But personally, I feel, and I it's a flaw of mine. You're gonna be
right. I understand that. That's
barf bag.
Like, hey, look here, that heart is right there has been dead, shriveled up a long time ago for shenanigans.
Yep.
That's why I'm drinking my tea when you was talking about Candace. I don't even have nothing in the cup. I'm just like, yeah, okay.
No, I totally, and don't for 1 minute think that I condone her behavior, but
yes, ma'am.
Personally, I find her to be pathetic personally.
Yeah.
I'm a weird one. Let me keep going on here. Oh, this is such a nice conversation. I am thrilled. Just I'm like a giddy person, losing my spot all over the place. Let me see. Where was I? I know I'm missing so many things. Let me see. Reality check. This Karen Becky thing is childish. You hear me? And it's not for the political stage. Really, that's why we are lagging behind. We're talking about she claims she wasn't wrong because she was a minority, but that's ludicrous. She passes as white and she plays whatever side she can. I've seen her, that young woman, I've seen what she does, and she is a player. She will be whatever she needs to be felt sorry for, and I feel sorry for her. And yes, she may be a person of color, but she is harming people. She's a dangerous woman. Karens are dangerous. They can cry all they want. They are getting people killed. And we cannot, as white people, look to a white person's tears as more important than a Black, brown, or Indigenous person's life. That's just common sense. We cannot do it. It shouldn't happen. And this whole Karen thing is, I don't even want to get into it. But see, you got me, you got me all on a rampage. Mahako, I refuse to ever let any white supremacists try to explain to me their stupid reasoning. There was a story that came out about a white man who killed his Black girlfriend and wife. These white supremacists are absolutely evil and they plan everything. Oh, this is all people. I don't care if they say, oh, it's subconscious. It doesn't matter. It kills. It's killing people. Suck it up, white folks. We got to do it. We got to do this. These are our fellow humans.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. Do not expect to be educated. You do it yourself. And if you're lucky, like I've been, you'll have some incredibly amazing people along the way take an interest in you and take you under their wing. And those people are like gold. They are gifts from above. So anyway, you have to appreciate it. You have to, because they're Black, brown, and Indigenous people have no responsibility to teach the oppressor how to stop.
Not at all.
Live it all day long, and then
I burnt my cape a long time ago.
It's
not me.
It's abuse. It's abuse. Let me keep reading here. Let me see. Dragon Soldier says 40% of the slaves owners were white women. They are the same today as they were then. That's a whole, we should do a whole show. I have a video that it wasn't very popular for some reason, but I personally said like my piece in it about white women. I do not hate white women. Okay. You can think I do, but I just expect more. Okay. Maybe I have a little higher standards. because this cannot be our best. It cannot be.
What did he say? Well, we can use the same thing. They're not bringing their best. So white women do better, do better.
Yep, good. That's a nice way to put. You're so sweet. I'm like, get it together. Hucko, exactly. So, like Kyle Rittenhouse literally gave him a ton of time before he got arrested. He's referring to how white people are given the benefit of the doubt to the point of nausea, and Black people are considered guilty before they blink an eye for their mere existence.
Say it.
Let me see. Looking, go down the list because we have a lot of wonderful comments. I love it. But I'm going to try to race through it. Let me just keep going. Reality check 13 says problem is too many Black folks are following this foolishness. I personally, as a white person, I do not blame the victim, and you have been the victim of white supremacy forever. So I don't know how I would have reacted, where I would have gone if I was born into this. But you say whatever you want, but as a white person, I can't go there because we did this. We did this and we're doing this still. It's like the way I look at it is people, I often got a lot of rude comments on not Facebook as much as YouTube is out of control. I got threats, whatever. But a lot of people say to me, oh, you just hate white people. Oh, you just, they go on and on instead of, it's called taking responsibility.
Yes, but babe, what you have to understand, right? You have children, right? And I know you have people with bad kids. They bad. And you've seen the kid do something. Tommy, you better stop that. And what does Tommy do? Yeah, okay. And does it again. Whereas your daughters or your son, you're like, I told you not to do that. And there's repercussions and consequences.
Absolutely.
If there's no repercussions or consequences, why are we expecting change behavior? And you've been winning in white supremacy. Mm-hmm. What Charlie Sheen gave or has either HIV, AIDS, or whatever the case may be, he's still winning.
Right. There's no repercussions. There's no consequences.
And that's what I don't understand. It's that you're expecting people to change. Why should I change? You as a white woman made your reasoning for changing because you wanted or whatever revelation you had or whatever the case may be. But how many people have those type of revelations or epiphanies in their time? So what I'm saying to you is that none. Exactly. So I'm not going to say you're an aberration to the point where you know certain things. There's a lot of them that know. Dylan Roof. Everybody's wondering, why did he go to that church? He went to that church is because that was the church that Denmark Vesey planned, if he wasn't turned in by other Black people, the biggest slave revolt. He knew the history. A lot of times, these white supremacists know the history.
Yeah, overt white supremacists are indignant. A lot of them are. But, Anastasia, did I cut you off? I apologize.
No, you're fine. What I'm saying is this is not a mathematical equation. In certain cases, we're making this harder than it needs to be. If there's no repercussions, what are the repercussions? If you go out there and smash somebody in the head, for the most part, you're going to jail. That's just what's going to happen. But if you're in a situation where you know that I can go down there and shoot these people, the cops are going to say, hey, good job. You want some water? What's stopping you?
It's simple behavioralism. It's basic is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like, come on. We're changing this into something that is it can be fixed, but it has to be deliberate. It's not going to happen overnight, but in a generation, if we was to start, Jane Elliott said this, if we started kids right now from K to 12, teaching them inclusivity, diversity, teaching them the true history of what really went on, good, bad, or indifferent, that we could eradicate certain things within a generation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll never do it.
No, because racism and white supremacy brings money.
Yep.
See, that's
all about money. Yep.
It's about money. Dr. Claude Anderson said that we keep making racism this abstract. Racism simply is the competition between groups of people for wealth and power.
All about the economics of it.
And exactly.
Choosing wealth and power over acting like a freaking human. That's
right.
I boil it down to that. It's
exactly.
We have chosen capitalism on steroids over our fellow humans' lives, livelihoods, and life. I mean, it's unconscionable, and I will never accept that that's just how it is. Sorry.
Right.
I won't. But it's absolutely great points. God, you're good. You're good.
So are you. You bring this out of me.
I love it. You're so I knew you
pour things into me, so
I trigger you. No.
Yes.
Yeah, I get triggered. Let me just keep going here. Let me see. And Mahako, Anastasia, look at Wayne Brady. You guys compromised. He tried saying that the guy who called in being racist towards him is just a clown instead of calling the guy out as he is a racist. Mr.
I don't know that instance with Wayne Brady, but at the end of the day, people are going to deal with what they deal with, how they're going to deal with it. Again, when you deal with things like that, and you do not deal with these people, that's when they think that they're going to be able to do that with other people. And then they get, the effed up and found out. And it's like, oh my God, I'm not racist. Oh, but you are.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then Mr. FS, great comments. Mr. FS Black. Welcome. I don't know if I said hello to you. Thank you so much for being here. Cooper should have pressed, Christian Cooper, I believe he's referring to, should press charges on the Central Park Karen. Now she's using her privilege to sue the company that fired her and turn things backward around on Cooper. Right. And I don't know if you were here earlier. The video I put out earlier this week of this woman was just, and I know I shouldn't be shocked, but I always am, deal with the pain. Right. I will never be able to normalize cruelty. I thought she should come with her tail between her legs saying, I learned so much. I am so lucky. Christian had pity on her, and he's such a good person. I've learned so much. I get, oh no, she doubled down. Don't even want to go there. But yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Let me just keep going here. And, okay, Ramses. And so is George Zimmerman. What is the Hispanic doing about him? Yeah. See, because George Zimmerman, I think was saying a little bit of like the Maya woman did. I believe that's the comparison. I know I'm way back up.
Yeah, no, but you're right. That's the thing. I'm this, so I can't be racist. Okay, let's think about certain things. Racism does imbue power, right? I get that. However, if you're a white passing person, which Maya Pinsetto is, and so is George Zimmerman, you know what the things that you can get away with. Absolutely. So stop playing yourself like that. And probably, I'm just going to hypothesize, in your own family, the darker shaded people within your family get called a certain thing, and fair children are, treated a certain way, and fair-skinned people are treated a certain way. You talked about it with that Indian that you know what I'm talking about, the app where they were darker skinned, and then all of a sudden, come on, we know that
in India they had an app that allowed colorism to be flaunted, basically.
Right, and then the thing about it is, it's like, what's the name of that? I think it was called The Heist by Lin-Manuel, whatever his name is. You know that show that came out, The Heights?
I'm not familiar with it.
It was a show that came out in the Heights, and it was talking about either Brooklyn Heights or Washington Heights, but it's a Latinx part of New York.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Right, but all he had was white passing or lighter skinned Hispanics. They didn't have any Afro Latinx people in it. And if you know you go to New York, it's like, wait a minute, hold up, dude. Yes. And then even with the novellas, that they all have fairer skinned people in these novellas, knowing, come on now, you Brazil, Cuba, come on. We know the Dominican Republic. Come on, bro. We know. Come on, let's stop playing.
Yeah, it impacts everybody, and we get sucked into it. It's just, and some things as a white person I will not say. That's why I'm glad you're here to say them. But I will keep reading. This Karen Mahako. Let me see here. Reality check. I'm not sure what reality check's saying, who he's referencing, but he says, you're embarrassing the diaspora and the African Americans for the lack of a better term as a whole. Not sure what he's referring to. If you want to keep that conversation going, tell us who you're talking to. If you're talking to white people in general, if you're talking to me, if you're talking to Anna. It's just hard because I'm so behind in comments. I apologize. Mahaka, the Karen thing goes way back even further than the 2000s. Emmett Till's death, an example of this. Well, women lie and admit it on her deathbed. Yeah, of course, it's women's tears. Let us keep going here to comments. Oh, Nails and Glitter was blocked. I have no clue why, but I finally figured out how to unblock her. I didn't block her, but we're happy she's back. Ronald, I just wanted to say that George Washington didn't become a rich slave owner until he married Martha. He married up. Ooh, nice points. Thank you.
That's the truth. That is
Mom.
the truth. And a lot of those slaves she got was from her first husband.
Yeah. And Mr. F.S. Black, Karen is nothing new. There's just a phrase for it now. Right. Of course. Absolutely. Let me keep going. Tulsa Massacre was incited by Karen. Absolutely. Let me see. Hispanic nations hate on Black people so they can be accepted by white people, and white people encourage this through model minority hierarchy. Yeah, it's a whole, we got this whole system thing. We got it down to an art. It's horrific. Garrick, if you're still here, welcome. Going through comments. Reality check says Mr. F is Black, but yes, but when you're dealing with white supremacy, you cannot use these childish terms. I studied law. Come on now, where you see a courtroom concerning white and their oppression talking about. Not 100% sure what you're saying, reality check, but I want to know. I'm going to keep reading. Let me see here. Hako names all the list of all the people who are definitely working against the better interest of Black, Brown, and Indigenous people. And Mr. F.S. Black knows what you're talking about because he responded, we're not in a courtroom. So at least I'm out of the loop. I am very upfront with if I'm not sure what's being said. Let me just catch up here. Garrick, when it comes to racism, it is sad as we as African Americans have always had to be on guard and have to be ready for other forms as it morphs into to coming at us. Right. Yeah. It's like racism's just changed in form. It's like one of the physics rules, matter is never created or destroyed. It's only changed in form. I hate to put it like this, but systemic racism in America has only changed in form. We've got it.
Yeah, like I said, the tactics are the same. It's just, it had to, just like the Southern strategy. Now we can't just call you the N-word to your face. Now we have to say Negro. Okay, we can't say Negro. Now
we say the thug word.
Yeah, or urban or low income. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we know what we're right. It's gaslighting and oh boy. This was like really like okay, I'm gonna skip that because I don't know what's going on. Let me just keep going. I love the conversations. I actually encourage them. Sometimes I skip them just because it's hard to because it's me. Don't hate on me. Candace Owen married a white supremacist and had a biracial child. She's really going to learn the hard way. Her audience turned on her when she showed pictures of her son on the internet. Did they really?
Oh, but they did. Oh, but they did. But again, like I said, she knew that. Like that wasn't something that she didn't know was not going to happen just because. And see, I'm not going to, like I said, later on in the conversation, we're having a conversation about delegitimizing people's blackness. I want to say to everybody out there, I am not the arbiter of saying who's black or who's not. Joe Biden is. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, yeah, I remember the comment you were referring to.
I'm joking. So please don't cut my head off.
You are allowed to joke here. You are allowed to be real here. I adore you.
What I'm saying about Candace Owen is not about her blackness in that sense. It's about she is a threat to everyone. Period. Somebody was talking about Stacey Dash. Same thing with Stacey Dash. She had Eurocentric features. She had the light eyes. So she was the standard of beauty. And guess what? She believed it until white supremacy showed her and them people jumped on her and she got arrested and charged. Period. They're going to show you. Oh, yeah, you might have been laying with him, but we ain't, please.
Yeah, and just, go ahead.
I wasn't saying anything.
Okay, sorry. It's that lag. Just to jump in, not for 1 minute have I heard you today, at least not in my mind, speak of somebody not being black. Absolutely not. I know you.
Yeah,
That's not what I've heard. Let me keep going here on these comments. Mako knows glitter. Yes, true. I give someone the benefit of the doubt until they consistently keep doing. You said that's, oh my gosh, Mohawk and I've talked so many times. Yep, until they consistently keep doing things that show me they are what they are. Yep. And Bobby Cooper, I love your comment. Thank you so much. This is good. I'm glad I tuned in. Thank you. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. I'm gonna get you,
Bobby Cooper. Hey, and watch out for them Amy Coopers.
You're funny. Oh my gosh, I am so behind in comments. Let me catch up. Oh my goodness, I'm embarrassingly behind. It's scrolled back and now I can't even find my place. Okay, I'm never gonna catch up. Goodness gracious, give me.
You want me to help you out, Angry Soccer Mom? Because I'm right where you're at. So MS Black said, at Reality Checker, only one of those people you mentioned was brought to justice and didn't have to worry about being called a term like Karen. So excuse me if I don't care. For the white fragility, Talanda said, right, wait till. Talanda said, Candace is done being used. Dragon Soldier said, Candace Owens is someone Harriet Tubman would have shot. I agree. MSF Black said, if they can unjustly call us the thugs, and then let's not protect the term Karen. It's the worst thing in the world. I agree. And
you're doing great. Keep it up.
No, because I'm used to doing this on my, because what happens is when I do my own one, a lot of times I don't read all the comments, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like people are having conversations, but they're great conversations. Yeah. So of course we want to read them. So Anastasia, look at Stacey Dash. She threw all of us under the bus for years. Now she got charged with domestic violence and got removed from Fox News, and they found somebody new, somebody younger, just like Donald Trump. They had to, get somebody younger and cuter. MSF Black at Dragon Soldier, absolutely. And who else? Mikado says, too little too late. She's been selling out for way too long. I don't trust her at all. Neither do I. Mahalo says, domestic. MSF Black, white supremacy always breaks their tools once they're done using them. Just look at Stacey Dash and Omarosa. Donald Trump didn't even tell her when he got. Did you listen to the video of that?
I just caught up to where we are. So I'm catching up here.
But Omarosa, when Omarosa was fired, he was like, oh, they fired you? Wait a minute, you didn't know that the only real, like not real, but this Black woman that was here, because you only had a couple and they weren't
expendable.
Huh?
You're expendable.
Yeah, you're expendable. Like, what are you talking about? Like, have you caught up, sweetie?
That's the problem. You know what, Anastasia, that's the problem and it goes right back to Martin Niemöller. These people do not understand. When you allow this to happen to one group, you are next.
You're not special.
Right?
You're not special. You're really not. He's really not, or she's really not that into you when it comes to power, wealth, and prestige. They will throw you under the bus.
Absolutely.
Are you caught up, Angry South?
I am caught up. Yes.
Do your thing.
Thank you. You're wonderful. Oh, I love it. If I get stopped, just jump right in. You're the best.
Yes, ma'am.
Nails of Glitter, I'm not saying trust them, only saying that they're still Black, regardless of what crazy-ish things, and delegitimize them as Black. Yeah, we shouldn't.
I agree.
We are. Of course, we both agree. We are.
I agree.
Only baby. We're in agreement.
Bam.
Yep. And I'm just going to skip right down here. Everyone's such fantastic comments. Seriously, I'm going to reread this later tomorrow. Let me just keep going. Miss Elaine 121, welcome to the show. I hope you're still here. It's not just Candace Owen, it's also Brandon Taintman, a lot of, it's a lot of people. And as a white person, I don't go there. That's out of my lane to say, what I obviously think, but that's not my place.
Right.
It's just not, because I don't know how I would be if I were indoctrinated as a brown person or Black person into this. Who knows what I would do? I don't know. And I'm not arrogant enough to say, no, not my place. I'm not here to put down anybody. I can obviously say it's hurting the cause in general, absolutely, right. But that's not my place. So I will not talk about what I'm not going to talk about. And I'm fine with that. I never knew, I never knew Dylan Roof chose that particular church. Wow. Yeah. Great. Yes. Great point.
Yes. He chose that church purposely because it didn't mark Vexy.
Yep. Great information. Nails and Glitter, just wanting to point out that if Black folks start saying that the Toms aren't Black, it only serves to divide us from within. And we're deciding that on code means and how to unite. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. It cannot be spoken about enough. Okay, I'm going to read this wrong. Phil's got press. I'm saying it wrong. I know we're not supposed to be teaching the mutant beast right from wrong. As a Black, brown, or Indigenous person, you do not teach the oppressor. You have no obligation. You have no responsibility. We made this up. We proverbial, not you personally if you're white. We made this up and we need to help, not lead, not get our picture on Facebook, not be the hero, but be the human. Use our humanity because these are our fellow humans. Okay. And right from wrong, you don't even need a book. It's wrong. Great points. You may go to jail for bashing someone in the head, but the difference is you're going to jail for 20 days or not. Right. I mean, we all know the injustice is real. T said historical thing, a revolt was planned years ago and he was carrying it out. That's from T commenting on something we talked about earlier. Reality check, Nails and Glitter, I hear you, but at some point you need to get the understanding that you can lead the horse to the well, but you can't make him drink the water. You must let them go. And I think she knows. I know Nails and Glitter is a good friend of mine.
So can I say this? And I'm
absolutely
not surprising.
Jump on
what it is that, so I can say for me, when you see your brothers and sisters going that path, you know what the outcome is. So you want to be like, yo, I don't want to just turn you out like that. Like, because I know on that other side, bro, they could kill you. And,
you're not safe, right?
Right, you're not safe. We're telling you that. We're telling you, you're not safe over there. But if you constantly are doing things that are completely incongruent with being, see, this is the thing, white America is on code. They don't care if you gay, they don't care if you got one leg in a kickstand. If you're white, when they protected whiteness, They protected whiteness. That is what they voted for, was whiteness, not Donald Trump. It was whiteness.
Totally.
So if you're on code and stuff like that, and as a diaspora, as a global community, melanated people need to get on code. Just like I know you probably seen the white guy that came in there in the H Mart and didn't want to wear a mask. It wasn't like they let all those Asian people was like, no, you gotta go. And that's how we have to be, to where is that we're a united front, like we're not doing this with you anymore. So, that's the only thing I can speak about on that one, is that I understand, not wanting to turn one of your own out.
Absolutely.
Because you know what it's gonna be like over there.
Absolutely. And they're going to need the community, and they're going to learn the hard way, and it's going to be incredibly, it's just what this system does to people is a crime against humanity. It's an ongoing one. It's a crime against humanity. It's terrorism. That you can't walk out of your freaking house casually down the street. I mean, I don't even want to go there. It's very upsetting.
Right.
I will keep going in comments. We can get to I knew we'd be talking and chatting and stuff. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's, you guys, not all people are usually not completely one way or completely the other. And it's tough. This is tough stuff. There's so many contributing factors, but the bottom line is we have to stand up for our fellow humans. Even if you don't want to, your group's next. Do it anyway.
Do it.
And, there's so much I want to say, but I'm going to be good and I'm going to keep going. Let me see.
You had Talanda about how about Alfonso Ribeiro?
Go ahead. Do you want to keep going?
Okay, Talanda Roberts. How about Alfonso Ribeiro talked about how all he wants is a white woman, and then wonders why he's not accepted by the Black community. Come on, dude. The fact of the matter is, let's be clear. I didn't even know he was married to a white woman. I really didn't even know that. And that video that surfaced about talking about white girls sleeping with white girls, blah 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 blah. Like, he should have just stayed quiet and been done with it, because a lot of people did not even. I remember, and I'm about to age myself, I remember him from Silver Spoons, and he was in a Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. So what are you talking about? The whole Carlton thing, nobody said who. Like, come on, bro. We know, like, half of the people in Black Panther are married to non-Black people. Nobody's tripping on them about that. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Half the civil rights leaders were married to non-Black people. I'm not going to say half. I'm being facetious. I'm just saying.
You're making a good point.
Like, come on, like, nobody cares about Alfonso Ribeiro that much. Nobody, like, dude, you're like a D-list dude, yo. Come on, you're playing yourself right now. And then Mahoka said at Reality Check, agreed 1,000%. Sally, you cannot save everyone. You can spread the truth, though. Exactly. Talana says, don't get me wrong, love who you love, but you sit up there and put white women on a pedestal like that. There's something wrong with the women of color. What do you expect? LOL. And this is the thing. I'm in an interracial relationship. You're never going to hear me saying, oh my God, as soon as I got with a white dude, the heavens opened up. That's stupid.
Ridiculous.
That's super stupid. Like, I would never say, I love my brothers. I love my Black men. My uncles are Black. My cousins are Black. Like,
really?
What are you talking about? Like, I would never do anything like that. Nails and glitter, I agree with that. Just want to point out that there's a long history, colorism, saying people aren't Black enough, and delegitimizing folks only serves to the enemy. And I totally agree with you. MS
So
Black,
hurtful. So
totally. There are many non-white defenders of white supremacy. I agree with that too. And they've been indoctrinated. You caught up, sweetie?
I am very caught up. I was actually caught up all along. I just like how you're doing this.
Good. You good?
Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, Mahaka's talking to T. I don't have an issue with interracial something dating, but I do have a problem with any man or woman who disrespects Black men and women while doing so. Absolutely.
So do we.
Absolutely. See, here's
So
the
do
thing. We cannot accept. We love the sport. We love the music. We love the style, but we don't actually love the actual person. No.
Well, see, I'm a twinge on what he said.
Yeah,
So this thing, no, because this is the thing, what happens, right? This is the thing, what happens. Let's be clear. 99.9% of Black men and Black women marry one another. Okay? Let's be clear about that. The second thing is when you have interracial relationships, you have a situation, and I'm gonna say this with a majority being Black men, will see a Black woman isn't this. I don't like Black women for that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we don't care that you are wanting this white woman. We don't care, but don't put us down.
Right.
Not excuse, but for your reasoning for doing these things. And we understand colorism, white women, it's still now are the beauty standard. European beauty standards globally are the beauty standards. I mean, and then when you have a situation, a disrespectful situation, which is, for instance, the Kardashians and a lot of these people are blackfishing. You want to put the Black suit on, you want to get the Black female traditional phenotypes and the traditional body style, but you don't want to take anything else that goes along with it. And then when it's put on you, it's exotic, it's beautiful. She's the body standard. But it's like, dude, you know that's a Black girl's body that you're looking at, right? So then it comes up, oh, you like the features as long as it's not on a Black woman.
Right. Exactly. It's like Bo Derek, and I'm aging myself now. It's like, oh,
now cornrows are okay.
Yeah.
Now, but that's
so beautiful. It's like, okay, what the actual, you know what?
And honestly, I think all of them are trying to look like Beyonce. Because if you seen the before and after pictures of that whole Harpy family, trust me, okay, their kids is not gonna look like them unless they get them real. And you need to come on, get this plastic surgery right now before we really see what you look like. But anyway, I'm not talking about nobody's kids. All I'm saying is that all of them in some way or another, for me, are trying to look like Beyonce, because Beyonce, that's who she is. And so when you come to these certain things, it's like, well, you're trying to make us feel bad because we don't look like Beyonce, because you want to look like Beyonce, but you don't even look like Beyonce. What are you talking about?
Head spinning.
But go ahead, that's all I wanted to say, is that a lot of what the situation is when, and I've been told this before, when I was in the military, I was dating a white guy, and a Black guy who was dating a German told me, I can't respect a Black woman that dates white men. I'm like, wait a minute, but you're dating a white woman. Well, that's different. How is that different? Because they didn't rape us like they did y'all. The hell that they didn't.
Oh yeah, that's that.
Literally, that was the conversation. And that's what you can't abide by me. Like, for instance, prime example, Eve, Serena. You know what I'm saying? They put their time in. They did what they were supposed to do. Now that they decided to go elsewhere and open up their horizons and become equal opportunity employers, now you mad at them because they're sellouts.
Yeah,
are you serious?
Stop the judging and just love our fellow human beings.
So that right there is what he's talking about, is disrespecting Black women. Yeah. Well, you'll have these guys, I forget what the rapper is, but he was like, I don't like dark-skinned women. Because light-skinned women, I can easily control them. And, it's things that go on with colorism in the Black community that are like, a light-skinned girl can look like the bottom of somebody's foot, but as long as she's light-skinned, she's good. Yeah, and I just wanted to make a shout out to my twins, Nina Boss and Anxious Peaches. Hey, babies.
You're so adorable.
Oh, my husband told me to bring up this particular guy where he's like, he said something to the fact, well, I didn't know you was in an interracial relationship. He's like, wait a minute, but your wife is Asian. He said, oh, but that's different. I'm serious. Oh, like these people are.
Well, he's making his own rules. He's
right, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting. All right. Oh, you're wonderful. T, I'm the light one in my household, and my husband and children act like there's something wrong with them because they're darker than me. That bothers me so much. It shouldn't matter. Absolutely.
Yes.
T, colorism regularly exists in Black families. I am not better than you. I put my pants on in the morning just like you. You are wonderful, T. Nails and glitter. Mahako, but if we do it to ourselves, it's still an us problem, regardless of the origin. Carried back. Oh, I'm so happy you are here, if you're still here. My good friend. Good evening, ladies. This is very enlightening discussion, but of course, very discomforting to a very white guy who cares. Thank you. You are wonderful.
Well, I just wanted to know, Carried Black, if you're still here, let us know later. I'm sorry.
Carried back. Carried back.
Carried back. I'm sorry. Need my glasses.
That's okay.
What's discomforting? You don't have to answer right now, but just tell us later on in the comments what's discomforting.
Great question. I can't answer for him, obviously, but I know that as white people, I'm not sure if everybody really knows this. I will just make it crystal clear. We as white folks, every last one of us, are on a continuum, an anti-racism continuum. Now, some of us are a little bit lower than others, okay? I'm just saying, but we're all on there somewhere, okay? The answer to, are you racist, is not yes or no. It's kind of where you're at, what you're doing. It's not a yes or no question. And as a white person, we will never get there. We are constantly learning. We will die learning. And that's how it is, and that's okay.
Got it.
Anywhere, the way I do it is, if you are willing to learn, I will help and work with anybody who's willing to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know, I'm not sure, no one can pinpoint where somebody else is, but that's a great question. I love it. And I also love that we have a white male who happens to be a good friend of mine here, willing to listen and learn. And there's a lot of ego you got to drop at the door, and it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Very, very nice. Great comments for him. Work through your discomfort, you'll feel better after. Absolutely. And I know that's, I'm still doing that. I'm sorry. I'm indoctrinated. Okay. I admit it. I'm indoctrinated. I said it. It's not a secret. I still have to check myself. And you know what? I want to be a better person, and I want to do it. It's not a burden. It's a gift, because I learned so much.
But that's not only for white people. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I know. You know, the thing about it, her name is Dr. Joy DeGruy. She talks about slave PTSD. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I love Dr. Joy. I love her.
Right. So the thing about it is that we all are indoctrinated, because I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, certain things trigger me as well. And like Talonda said, there's colorism in my family that I had to, like, no, you're not going to do that. Or a situation where you're, you know, out and about and people look at you and say stuff like me and my husband was out somewhere, and this lady just walked up to us like, I'm okay with this.
Oh, gee, thank you for your approval.
Yeah, it was like,
wow. Like,
okay.
No shit's given, lady. Like, what the
actual... No shit's given. Or wow. we had somebody say, you know, I just love this thing going on with y'all. And this was a Black person. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, even walking it, like today, like I had a triggering moment walking into Whole Foods, and I'm like, nothing in my Blackness, I should be in Whole Foods, gentrification, you know, in Harlem and stuff like that. So it's just, you work through things. So it's all of us. You just have to be willing to, like you said, take your ego down and come from the place of, I know that I don't know everything.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
You drop your ego and you learn. You say sorry if you mess up and you do better.
Yeah.
This is not rocket science. This is just, it's like, doesn't everybody want to be the best person they can be?
I agree.
It's tough. And one of the biggest differences is that white folks today in our culture can pretend they don't know what's going on. And that's where I call bullshit. And that is why I do what I do, is
right.
I never stop talking about the damage of systemic racism.
Right. Exactly.
And fools who are being, tricked, the white fools who are being tricked into believing that white supremacy is in their best interest. And it's not.
So remember, we were going to talk about, so for everybody out there, I don't know if we're going to get to it tonight, but I'm going to hit up something real quick while you get caught up.
I'm caught up. Go ahead. I want you to.
And we were talking about white victims of police brutality. And this is the thing. I have 2 pages so far of the white victims of police brutality. The fact of the matter is that we have white people that say, well, they're killing more white people. Yes, because there's more white people in this country.
Right.
And Latinx people, Hispanics, are labeled as white too, because Latinx, Hispanics are not considered a race, it's an ethnicity, according to paperwork. That's not me saying paperwork.
Right. I mean, it switches on and off as we
we
decide we need them in the white community or not.
Right. White supremacy is always on both sides of the argument. You're white right now, but you know what? Not now. You're not white.
Right.
So it's just a simple fact of the matter is that a couple of the ones that I found, that these people were low income people, disabled people, poor people, homeless people, but these people were all white and they were treated horribly. So again, like we were talking about, why are you not mad as hell as well? The fact of the matter is that I'm gonna let you read the comments, and then some of them,
this is important.
Like, this is like disgusting because, okay, Dallas, Texas, 2016, Tony Temper murdered in police custody after calling 911 for help. He was off his meds and needed help. The cops called him a roly-poly, right? Rolled him on his back. Had a knee in his back while he was on the prone. If you've had somebody's knee on your back while you're on the prone, what does that stop you from doing? Breathing, because your diaphragm. And they killed him and labeled it an accidental death of cocaine and stress. What does that sound like? 2011, Kelly Thomas, a homeless man with mental health issues in California. He was beat by 6 officers in Fullerton Police Department. The bones in his face were broken and he choked on his own blood.
Yep.
Now, let me tell you what the name of the officer was. Officer Ramos. Okay? Mm-hmm. Officer Ramos. He was tased up to 5 times, and Officer Ramos repeatedly hit him with the blunt end of his flashlight. The paramedic on duty was told to attend to the cops that had minor injuries. This man died 4 or 5 days later. Cops lied, said he attacked them. What does that sound? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying you don't have to be Black to be extremely upset about police brutality with impunity.
If you want to be mad that white, listen, Fred Hampton, he was linking with the KKK, white supremacy. He's like, look, dude. And so was Marcus Garvey. A lot of people, W.E. Du Bois did not like the fact that Marcus Garvey was meeting with Klan members. That's one of the reasons why they set him up to go to jail. But what I'm saying is, we're all experiencing the same thing. It's just the fact that there's less of a percentage of Black people per capita, and we are 3 to 4 times as likely to get shot by cops unarmed. But either way it goes, Johnny Hurley, 2021, he was a good guy. Y'all heard what I said, right? 2021, good guy with a gun, shot by the cops after shooting Ronald Troy, who ambushed a police officer, Gordon Beasley, in Denver. So remember how they always saying, oh, we got to have these guns because we got to stop this. This man shot a guy that shot a cop. And he was killed. 2016, Daniel Shaver, cops killed Shaver while he was begging on his knees. They told him to get on his knees. Cops were allowed to retire on medical grounds with a pension, $2,500 per month. And he alleges he suffers from PTSD from shooting Shaver.
The system is it's kind of interesting. I want to say the system is working just as planned. And that is because, and tell me what you think of this. And I'm blanking on her name, but it's a person who wrote The Sum of Us. She wrote The Sum of Us. I can't remember her name. And she tried to explain, I have a video on her. I'm just blanking on it.
Right.
She wrote The Sum of Us, and it was about the economics of racism, but she was really talking about what happens when our mentality is so engulfed, entrenched in white supremacy. We will go against our own best interest.
Yes.
As long as they can't have it.
Jay said that. He sure did. When you say it all the time, a white person, if you give him a colored man to look down on, he'll let you pick his pockets.
Absolutely. And the thing is, she used the example of swimming pools. They used to be, all over the place. And then, God forbid, segregation ended and Black people could use them too. Well, instead of just saying, well, you know what, we can all use them. No. We shut them all down.
Now nobody gets to swim.
You have to use them with us, then we don't want them for us. It's incredible, this type of mentality. And it's awful. It's awful. The depths of systemic racism. Think of what you think of systemic racism. If you're white right now, think about it. Multiply it by a gazillion, and you might be getting close. This stuff is just embedded in oh my gosh. Once you learn the history, there's no going back. It's like riding first class. It's like
the Civil War. They always love to pull out what everybody didn't own slaves. We know that, but you fought to keep slavery because they told you, hey, you're better than those guys, and we're here for you. So all you got now, you're still poor. Mississippi is one of the poorest, and I'm not saying this because it's my opinion. I'm saying it's statistically one of the poorest, dumbest, and unhealthy states in the 50 units between West Virginia, Louisiana, and why is that? Alabama and all these places. You know why? Because you're stuck in this. Well, at least I'm not Black. You're still poor. This is why the Poor People's Campaign is so awesome, because it's a conflation of interest. It's a conversion of converging of interest. Because regardless of the fact, Black, white, purple, or green, you're still poor, and they're still crapping on you.
Right, and one of the things that I stress in almost every video I ever do is the Lyndon B. Johnson thing. Stop buying into the lies. Stop it. The wealthiest elites are running us. They're using us, and we're falling for it generation after generation, and we're harming and killing our own folks and all of our human beings, our fellow humans. Our fellow humans, we're killing. I mean, even if you're the most staunch racist off the charts, you're killing your own people if you want to go there. So, I mean, everybody, it is not in our best interest to be a hater.
The thing about it is, like I said, so we just had a child, 17, Hunter Britton, shot in Arkansas. He was poor, working class, and the thing about it is, if you looked at the people, that was out there, we got to do something about this. Oh, yeah? Well, when Black Lives Matter was saying all that, what were you saying? So for me, time to times, I just look at them like, okay, you're mad now because it affected you.
Right.
But we've been telling, and all of these people, William, and the reason why, because Black Lives Matter, where's White Lives Matter, All Lives Matter at? Because I can tell you all of these people that I just named, Black Lives Matter did a tribute to and did a memorial to. But where was White Lives Matter at? Where was the All Lives Matter? Right. You know, the situation with Hunter Britton, Ben Crump is actually representing him.
Yep.
His family. And I'm like, wait a minute, prior to this happening, what did you talk about Brent? Because I mean, I hate to be judgmental,
but if real, it's fine. I'm listening.
If you look at certain people, why don't you Black people just stop committing crimes? You probably resisted. Why didn't you just comply until it happens to you? And you got your Caucasian wake-up call that these cops don't care. It's already known that the police brutality is going to hit minorities, Black people, undocumented immigrants, of course, the LGBTQ plus, but you're going to be in there as well. But like and all of these things that I'm talking about are from 2020, 2021. These are not, the earliest one was from 2011. You got William Jeanette in Tennessee. He was in custody, pepper spray, said, I can't breathe. You know what the cop said to him? You shouldn't be able to breathe, you stupid bitch. That's what the cop said to him. And the other cop said, easy, easy, remember asphyxiation, guys, and kneeled on his back. And the other cop said, that's why I'm not on his lungs. No charge. Now, with all of these people, for the most part, nobody got charged. Not one person. Hunter Britton, you know about that. They just fired him. 2020 in Phoenix, Ryan Whitaker, you've seen that, right? Where the guy, they said the cops came to the house. They said it was about domestic violence. He had came to the door with his weapon. It was a cop in front of him.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right? They lied and said that he pulled the gun on him.
I remember that one. Yep.
You remember that? Lied about that. Okay. Zachary Hammond, he was 19, killed in South Carolina. He was not even the target. And they shot him through, they lied and said that he tried to run him over with his car. They shot him through the passenger side. I mean, the cop pulled up on him, so both their windows were facing the driver's side window. He hit him in the left rear and the back of his chest. Like, what are you talking about? You got in 2014, Keith Vidal. He was 18, North Carolina. He was having a mental episode. Allegedly, all of a sudden, I don't have time for this shit, and killed him. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like the last one I have is Justine Diamond. She called the cops. Jeremy Martis was 6 years old. And he was shot. Dylan Taylor, yes, look, Jeremy Martis, his dad, this was in, Jeremy Martis was in Louisiana. They shot 18 times into the car. Yep. And he got shot in the head. All of these people, one of them, Lyndon Cameron, he was autistic. So, you know, the reason why I went and got all these things for you, because I'm just like, did anybody know any of these names? I know I knew about them.
Yep,
I knew about them because I'm like, you got shot by the cops. And this is one of them. The cops came from behind him. He had headphones in. When he turned around, they shot him. Like,
yeah, the bottom line is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that systemic racism is not good for white people either.
No. No, it's not. It's not. You see what happened? What happened out there in Texas when that grid went down? Did they say, "Hey, all you white people, you come over here. We got some place for you to live"?
Oh,
No,
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 they
no,
did
no,
not.
no.
No.
In Texas, when they had that hurricane, Joe Osteen didn't open up the church for you white people either.
The bottom line is, it is against our better interest to be hateful people who have this this need to feel like we're white supremacists. Yay, we're great. Give me a break. You're going against your best interest. Even if you want to keep that ideology, whatever, you are being played the fool.
Right. And just like Nell, I'm at the end, but Nails and Glitter said just by the numbers, more white men, they are per capita. But when you're looking at per capita,
absolutely,
you got to look at it per capita math, because at the end of the day, you can say that, but white people make up 62% of the population versus black people making up 13 to 14, maybe the highest 15%. So if more of us are getting killed, it's going to mean a lot more than, not mean a lot more, but it's going to put more of a dent. And then the simple fact of the matter is that a lot more black people are being shot unarmed.
Yes, by far.
That's what it is. They're being shot. I've seen a white guy roll up, push a cop, smack a cop, and he was all right. Dylan Roof, prime example. They was like, well, he complied.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, there's a double, triple, quadruple standard. There's a benefit of the doubt. There is absolute guilt before even anything. It's people. If you're a white person, it is not rocket science. This is not a hard concept.
Right.
It is not.
But they aren't outraged at their own victimization. I agree with you. I mean, I'm at the end of the comments because I was just looking, but they aren't. I don't remember we talked about the two cradle theory.
Yes, the two cradle theory, absolutely. Yep.
My whole thing about it is, even within a micro type of situation, what are we surrounding ourselves with? Remember we talked about the biggest white supremacist gang and how they were bringing the children into the gang and everything, and we're like, no, we're not doing that.
Right, you're surviving.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you know what? That's in the video that I'm going to post.
Yeah.
Yes. You. So don't give it away.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's there's 2 videos I want to get up tonight or tomorrow morning of this wonderful woman. And you know what? I am going, boy, you're incredible. I'm going to need to wrap up our show tonight.
Okay.
However, I want to ask you, do you want to have any last comments? I've been thrilled and thankful to have you.
No, I love talking to you. Like I said, talking to you is amazing. I mean, some of the stuff that we didn't get to, like, we can talk about it next time. But if you want to just go, the ex-firefighter making his rants about speaking English, even though America doesn't have an official language,
right.
What does where he was at have to do with 9/11? Nothing. Or we could say all buildings matter, right? Okay.
It's the whole
all
thing.
buildings matter, right? September 18th, revisionists. Listen, those people are a cult and they're going to keep moving it back. I'm just waiting for them to literally drink the Kool-Aid and go on about their business. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
It's very scary. And they say the coup, if you notice, the coup is actually, as they're finding out, much basically goes very deep and is very scary. Right. And it's very awful, and somebody needs to be held responsible because it will happen again.
The Wyoming, Michigan, you asked me my opinions on that. There is no opinion. It happens all the time. I mean, that right there happens all the time. And for me, I've been in a situation where I have to be extra careful where I'm at, what I'm doing, who's around me, because you have to keep your head on a swivel. James Baldwin said that if you turn your back on white supremacy, you can die. So I never turn my back. You said the former Tulsa police officer talks about the secret pictures he saw about Black Wall Street. I'm not surprised, because if you think about it with white supremacy, they always want to be innocent along with being an aggressor, as long as being a victim. They always want to be on both sides of the argument. So I'm not surprised how deep and how close Trump came to us. He already had a coup. The fact of the matter is, just I forget who it was that said it, but Donald Trump was a white lash, and they want that great white hope back, because I'm not as good as Donald Trump, but at least I'm white. Entitled Americans pay impoverished Kenyans to cheat their way through. At the end of the day, people have always Africa has always been the prize. Period. They have always, all those philosophers, doctors, have always went to Africa to learn. The first doctors were in Africa. All of these things, the first architects, we know that already. So for me, you just went home. You went back to your school. You just wanted a reunion. That's all that was, while sitting there talking about Africans or this, that, and third. But you know why they do that? Because they don't want us to know what Africa looks like, because then we'll go back over there and find out all the lies. And the worst thing that you can do is call a white person a liar or ignore them. So I do both. In regards to the Crenshaw Mall situation, let's be clear. They don't want a functioning African or African American society. They don't want that. As much as people like to say, you need to pull yourself up from your own bootstraps, where would you be without what you tried to make me? People need to think about that, because just like you said, when I'm gone, who do you think they're coming after?
Your group's next.
Yeah.
And what Anastasia is doing right now, if you're just joining us, or we're kind of wrapping it up at the end, is we're going over all the videos I posted because we want to wrap up the show, all the videos that I posted for this week, and she's doing a quick summary and giving a little analysis and opinions. So if you want to see those videos, they are on already. And the two things we didn't really get to that I really wanted to get to was explaining the Crenshaw Mall, the selling of LA's Crenshaw Mall. We're going to have to get into that another time, but incredibly racist. Racist. The Black community wanted to keep control of their own mall, and oh my goodness, they
can't have it.
They had the most money. They had
the money. You can't have it.
Buy it, and they said no.
Right, you can't have it. That's the whole thing, Angry Soccer Mom. I can't have you to be self-dependent and self-governing, because then if I have that, then all the lies are going to crumble.
Yep. They want to keep we as a society based on white supremacy and money, want to make sure that the accumulation of wealth goes to white folks. Not all white folks.
Not all white people.
But the wealthiest elites. And so they could not sell their mall. I mean, this is just, I could go on and on. I'm going to have to wrap it up tonight. And I wanted to do a quick plug. If you believe like I do, that it is way past time. White America, educate ourselves in our own racial history and start giving a shit about our fellow humans. I keep it real. Please consider subscribing and watch my videos, and maybe placing them where your white friends can see them and things like that. I'm not here to hurt anybody, but I cannot sit and watch this. And Anastasia, you are amazing. I am bowing down to you.
No. Don't do that.
Not thank you.
You're amazing. And your audience is amazing. And they've embraced me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for even having me. Like you said,
you have to come back.
Oh, definitely. Anytime you want.
I'm gonna beg you.
All right.
Look for her 2 videos that we're putting out. I will try to get them out by tomorrow morning at latest. They are just conversations. It's like 2 gals having a conversation, and we get into it, and it's just, you're the best.
It's kind of like Ask a Black Lady.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And
no problem.
You will be seeing this woman again on here. All right.
See y'all later. And like I always say, we're going to fight till hell freezes over. And if there's any more injustice, we're going to fight you on the ice.
Oh, you're wonderful. You give me hope for humanity.
Bye, y'all.
Everybody. Thank you. Thanks for being here. This was wonderful.
Of course.
Of course, I'm going to call you right away. Good night, everybody.